I also really love security a lot, and that's why I've selected this topic. I hope my audio is clear, Meti. Yeah, thank you so much for the confirmation. So I'm not turning on my video because this topic is metaverse. So we should be using avatars. So today I'm using avatar while delivering my session. This is the first time I'm doing. So I hope that you all will like that. So I've prepared my slide in such a way that we will first start a discussion about metaverse. Then we will go step by step towards the security issues it comes along and how we can overcome these security issues. So first of all, thank you so much Metaverse One community to organize this event where we all are coming together and sharing our experiences and also the challenges which we face in Metaverse universe. Uh, before jumping into the topic, let me first introduce a little bit about myself and then we will deep dive into the topic. So, I'm Dr. Abhilasha Vyas and I'm working with CloudDat and we are into training and consulting specifically. So, I'm working as a business unit head, cloud security and business intelligence with CloudDat. I'm also a Microsoft certified trainer from 2021 and I have also cleared a couple of certifications because my interest is to understand what cloud security is. And if we talk about the perspective of cloud service providers, what kind of services they are providing to the customers so that customer can feel secure when they are sharing their sensitive information on the digital world. So for that, I have cleared a couple of certifications and we can't only rely on single service providers. So I'm trying to explore other cloud service providers as well. In continuation to that, I've cleared AWS Cloud Solution Architect, and also I'm working in GCP as well, just to understand that how all these cloud service providers are managing security for the customer applications, customers' data, identities, and other aspects. I'm also part of many Azure communities because I love what I know to share with the communities. And this is only the way we can learn and we can grow together. So that's my motto. And I'm also running a Azure user group in a location Vadodara where I'm residing. It's incoming in the Gujarat state in India. So we are doing monthly events. If anybody is interested to take part or to share their knowledge with the community in Vadodara, please feel free to reach out to me. At the end of this session, I will share my LinkedIn profile where we can be connected and we can also plan some collaborative events as well. I'm also part of other communities as well, where I actually promoting other women to come in this field because as a woman, I know that I got some opportunities because I'm part of such things. Why not to give chance to other women to come in this field? So that's why I have joined Women in Big Data India chapter as an executive council member. Also, I'm part of Breaking Barriers Women in Cybersecurity and other communities as well. And I've completed my doctorate in cybersecurity in 2021. And this is all about me, very, very passionate about Azure security and its services. So let's deep dive now. First, let's start with what metaverse is all about. So let me take you to the next slide. So what metaverse is all about? So as we all know that metaverse is the emerging 3D enabled digital space that basically uses virtual reality, augmented reality and other advanced internet and semiconductor technology. And this allow people to have lifelike personal and business experiences online. So we can say that metaverse is best categorized as an evaluation of today's internet, where we can say that this is representing the convergence of digital technology to combine and extend the reach and use of cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence, the technologies which I have named earlier as well, like augmented reality, virtual reality. So in today's session, I will share some aspects, security issues related to AR, VR as well, and related to metaverse when it comes to identity, when it comes to data privacy, when it comes to communication, content, scenarios. So all those aspects we will discuss in today's session. But when we unite all these terms, this will create a different virtual space, and that virtual space give a chance to people to interact, to share their information. Basically, metaverse have three basic features. The first is sense of immersion, real-time interactivity, and also the user agency. And if we say that full version of metaverse, the first is platform and devices, which are working seamlessly with each other. Then we have possibility of 1,000 people to interact simultaneously. So it means the communication. And then lot of things we have like gamings and other aspects like learning also. Lot of platforms are using AR, VR and these techniques for learning capabilities as well. So gaming, learning, all these aspects like in medicine, medical field, in property dealing, a lot of aspects we can use metaverse. So that's a little bit about metaverse. Now, the question is, when we say a lot of things are coming under metaverse, so what does the metaverse consist of? So if we say metaverse, we can have four major categories of metaverse, which creates the important layers. So the basic important categories are content and experience. Then comes hardware, enablers, all those stuff. So content and experience, as we say, so content is whatever it's developed by users, creators, and developer that enrich the metaverse experience. Also, the applications which are tied to specific metaverse, like learning or a gaming event, which we talk about. Also, when we say virtual world where uh, all the groups can gather or interact or create, so that's all comes under the content, experience, and all those stuff. We also have platforms. Now, the platforms that facilitate access and discovery. So, where we are going to use the entire metaverse universe. And also, this platform can be designed for 3D experience or 2D experience as well. And then we have infrastructure and hardware. And this is a place where people interface with the metaverse via devices, operating system, and the accessories. So metaverse is powered with underlying infrastructure like cloud computing, semiconductors, networks, and many more. And then it comes to the enabler. So these enablers are basically taking care of security, privacy, and governance, which are very, very critical to metaverse to make metaverse function well and fairly. All the tools and applications that manage digital identity that also needs to be taken care in the enabler, and also the tools which we use to access the metaverse economy by payments and monetization. So these all things comes under the metaverse. So it consists of, I can say, infrastructure and hardware, content and experience, and then the enablers, which are taking care of security and privacy aspects. Now, the next question. Now, till now, we understand that what is metaverse, what does metaverse consist of? Now, what technologies advances will drive the development of metaverse? So, the very important technology which we can understand with metaverse is that is blockchain, which is very, very prominent right now. So blockchain has energized the decentralized creator economy, rapid technology advances that promise to unlock any future metaverse experiences, and also very important, the interoperability between the worlds. And also the 5G, we can't forget that the full rollout of 5G will enable users to process large world on mobile devices. And also other advancement like we can say backend engines will knock down barriers to creation, enabling wider audience. And then we can have 2D to 3D shift. We have edge computing, which derive the computing power which required to run the metaverse. And edge computing is basically enabling data to be captured, stored, and processed locally rather in the cloud, because we need response in real time. So we can't wait that we are sending data to the cloud location and then they are coming. So why I'm discussing all these things with you? Because I wanted to take you to a point where we will discuss that is there is any risk associated with metaverse. So we are coming to that. Not only edge computing, but we have hardware devices also, which merge the physical and virtual world. So software development also drives the metaverse application. So it is very, very important to understand that technology to fully realize the potential of the metaverse doesn't exist yet. There are a lot of advancement required like compute infrastructure, network infrastructure, and interface hardware. They still need advancement. Edge computing need advancements. All these things still need advancement, but still we are very happily using metaverse and the power of metaverse. Now, after understanding the technology, the parts which metaverse consists, let's have a discussion on risks which associated with metaverse. So despite all the promise which metaverse is having, still we have certain risks associated with that. So security, compliance, identity, and management, if we talk, the yesterday's and today's internet, if we talk, the impersonation, that is the major challenge. Attempts to steal credentials, a major challenge. Social engineering, major challenge. Nation state espionage, major challenge. Inevitable vulnerabilities, major challenge. Now, these all will be with metaverse. Metaverse is not alone. Metaverse is coming with all these kind of risks. So what we need to understand is that whatever data we have to keep data and privacy issues. First, we need to understand that what we are doing while keeping data and privacy, what are the issues related with that? And the important thing is the regulatory standards which are related to users' right. That is need to be understood properly when we are dealing with that. And also we need to ensure that the metaverse bring built are like equitable, safe, and sustainable. We have to keep the talent and diversity issues in clear sight, and also we have to minimize the biases related to technology, because everywhere we see the diversity issue is coming, so that should not be comes under the metaverse. And also the major challenge which not comes at the security aspect, but that can lead to the security attacks which are happening, addressing and stamping out abuse, harassment, and misinformation. So I see this last point which I have mentioned as a major challenge, because when we have abuse, harassment, and misinformation, that leads to a people to commit some kind of crime to the other people, because they are very, very frustrated with such issues. So we have to take care of these kind of risks which are related with data and privacy, and we have to make sure that we are making metaverse a secure metaverse. So if we talk about that in detail, what are the top metaverse cybersecurity challenges? When we say technology is enabling us, technology always comes with certain kind of challenges. So it comes with lot of benefits, but again, we have some security and privacy concern. And again, metaverse is no exception to that. Metaverse security and privacy concerns are very, very huge at this stage, and that needs to be addressed immediately. And that's why all the communities are coming together and organizing such events where people can come together, share their concerns, and share their best practices which they are using, so that other people can also be take the benefit of them. So first, I would like to discuss some general serious security and privacy related problems of the metaverse. And then we will discuss about the four categories of these concerns. And then briefly, we will discuss about them. Once we discuss about them, we will explore the general solution to the security and privacy problem in the metaverse. So the important aspect which we need to understand is that sensitive information in the real world may be stolen through terminals. So avatar which I'm using, so these avatars have closer relationships with other avatars in metaverse rather than other virtual worlds, like we say online games. So data may be stolen by malicious avatars easily. Again, if I talk about avatars, the avatars have a lot of interaction with other avatars and non-player characters. Now, this also uh, we have to see that when they have interaction, there should be some communication, some data exchange. So that is also a major risk, major concern, because avatars we are creating with our personal information. Our all the information which we have, we are or the look and feel, like I'm not looking like I've created the avatar, but lot of biological or psychological symmetry we are mapping with avatar and we are creating. So if that data is stolen, that is again a risk factor associated with that. So third, which I can say, definitely the scenarios in the metaverse that will make users feel inappropriate. Maybe because of difference of thought, maybe because of political alignment, maybe the cultural difference, maybe the diversity, all these kind of aspect also that users may feel inappropriate and forced to take actions which are not beneficial for the other avatars or the users. The final thing is the ownership of the content. That is a very important and strong point, because ownership of content, transition of contents, and also the goods in the metaverse is a huge challenge, because huge financial risks are involved. So the metaverse is developing, but the security and privacy concerns are also increasing. So I would like to, because I studied a lot while preparing this presentation. So I've seen that we can divide this into four major categories. The first category is whatever user information we have, then the communication between them, the scenarios which we are using, and the content which are created by the users. So I would like to have some discussion on these four major categories to give you a more information related to security aspects. So metaverse privacy and security concern. When we talk about user information, so we know that multi-sensor fusion is one of the characteristics of the metaverse, and lot of sensors are used in enabling technologies of metaverse. And we know that these sensors are necessary since help you to view an immersive version of the metaverse. And these sensors are, what they are doing is, these sensors are collecting a huge amount of data from the user. Now, the sensors, as I told, like user psychological data, users physical data, users biometric data, and social data of the user, the behavior pattern of the user, all these kind of data are collected by the various sensors. Now the data which I have discussed, you all can agree with me that all these data which I have mentioned are too personal and sensitive for all of us, and if this data is leaked, it will endanger the security and privacy of you. I don't want my social data to be shared. I don't want my physical data to be shared with anybody else. But that's a concern. So user information data is metaverse security and privacy concern. So it is very, very critical that the user information data is protected. And also there need to be a specific treatment and protection that is needed to address metaverse security and privacy concerns, which specifically related to user information. Again, we can say that it can be generalized. We can create a whitelist, we can create a blacklist so that we can prevent to whom we are giving access and to whom we are blocking the access to our metaverse environment. So all these related to data part. Then we comes to the communication. So when we say communication, so communication in the metaverse is again one of the major security and privacy concern, because high interactivity is one of the features of metaverse, and we all agree with that. So lot of communication and interaction takes place between different components of metaverse architecture. And that's how this feels us like a virtual world. The way we are communicating in the real world, we can communicate in the virtual world as well. So metaverse architecture, if we say, it comes with human world, physical world, and then the digital world. So many activities like sharing, cooperating, mutual trust, understanding, all these things in metaverse are there. So it's difficult to be done without the help of communication. So communication is there, and then the user information is not shared in the communication between different entities in the metaverse, but the real communication data which user 1 and user 2 is sharing, that is going to be a concern of us. So data at rest, data at transit, and data is use. So these are the three major parts of data where we need to be concerned. So whatever communication is happening between the entities, that is also a major concern for us. So it is very, very important to protect communication, and it should be shielded from non-communicators. And also, non-communicators should be prevented from recovering the content from the communication, eavesdrop, and all those stuff which we talk about the attack or man in the middle. All those stuff should be prevented from that. So we need a good solution to address this particular category of the privacy and security concern. The next category I have listed in the slide is scenario. So it is possible to encounter the same security and privacy concern as in the real dream, which we can relate with metaverse. But there are two main aspects which we can consider related to metaverse security and privacy is the scenario itself, and the second, which I'm also using for delivering this session, that is avatar. So the scenario itself and the avatar itself. So in the metaverse, uh, we know that the huge amount of users are gathering together. There are a lot of differences among users. Their understanding of culture, their understanding of religions, political thoughts, all vary a lot. So the scenario in the metaverse maybe will not meet everyone's wish. And this will even lead to misunderstanding among the avatars. So users will introduce new problems for the avatars in this scenario. So any malicious and immoral user will insult, track, or even harass other avatars in the metaverse. So all the scenarios we have that we have to take care in that. And this happened recently in Meta's Horizon workroom. So this harassment and other stuff. So Meta introduced personal boundaries on each avatar. And that is, I can say, that is a good way to solve metaverse security and privacy concern. Then comes to the content, and that is again a major aspect where the security and privacy concerns are coming. So imagination, high creativity, high degree of freedom, high personalization, these are some of the characteristics of metaverse we all know. So users are creating all type of goods like character modeling, costumes, like I have also created a costume for my avatar today, building appearances, artwork, like users have freedom to create their own content. Now these are either created through efforts or through the cost of money. Now this include both spiritual and financial value. So whatever contents are generated by users are virtual digital goods. So in short, we say VDA. So, or maybe NFT, maybe virtual land, maybe assets, tokens, we can categorize like that. And any user do not want these to be illegally taken by any other user or damaged. So like for example, I'll give you one example to relate with this is, let's say for my avatar, I have tailored a personalized dress, a very beautiful princess dress or any stylish dress I've created. Now I don't want that dress to be worn by others. I want to provide security to my avatar characteristics so that others may not be able to use it. Or content transactions, this can be damaged or taken control by malicious users. So always user should have a demand to anonymize rights in the translation. So it is very, very important to protect contents in the metaverse. Now, blockchain is an excellent solution to the problems where blockchain has an important role in the metaverse in terms of securing ownership, traceability, and transfer of goods in the metaverse. So these are the major top categories we have. Let me take you to the next slide. Now the question is how we can secure metaverse. So we have know that security is a team sport. Always we say that it's a shared responsibility model. We can't give this responsibility to a single vendor. So when it comes to the metaverse, no single vendor, product or technology can go it alone in protection. So the culture is that information sharing and collaboration in the community, we have to have a common achievable goal to provide security, because it can't be happen overnight. We can't enable the policies and we click, we see that okay, everything is secure. No, policy also takes some time to enable, some hours to enable, to check the contents which we have. So it can't be done overnight. And all the ISPs, cloud providers, device manufacturer, even the industry rivals in these markets also understand the need of working together for addressing these security issues. So it's very, very critical to align on key priorities to help secure the metaverse for generations, and identity, transparency, and continued sense of unity among defenders will be the key. So I will be going to discuss about identity. I will be going to discuss about client vulnerabilities, few other security aspects in upcoming slide. But from this slide, how to secure metaverse, the important point which I want to raise is that together we can make metaverse secure. It can't be done from a single entity. So first, very, very important aspect, like today also, we all know each other's identity because we all have joined this Teams channel. So identity is where intruders strike first. That's the first point of contact and first point of attack as well. So the thing is, like the phishing could look like in the metaverse, or a fake emails from the bank it's coming, or maybe I can say that avatar. So avatar of a tailor in a virtual bank lobby asking for your information. So it could be an impersonation in another scenario of your CEO also, who is inviting you to join a meeting in a malicious virtual conference room as well. Maybe asked to share some important confidential information of your organization. So that can also be a possibility. So identity in the metaverse is a top concern now. An organization need to know that adopting metaverse enabled application and experiences won't append their identity and access control. Always whenever we see applications, we have to give proper access to those applications, that how much data from my entire universe that application can access, which part we are giving access, which part we are restricting. So identity manageable for enterprises in this new world is very, very important. Identity thefts which are happening, that is on rise and also a major issue in the metaverse as well. And if we talk about this, uh, we have to also consider when we say metaverse that people will be able to identify themselves in the metaverse. So we also consider that how individuals will come and trust. How I trust that or know that the person or business I'm interacting with is real. Means if they are saying that I'm from business A, how I can trust that? So we can again, I can say that the strongest anticipated solution definitely rely on blockchain based mechanism to verify the identity. Now the blockchain, if we talk about the various non fungible tokens like NFT, scams are already there. So we can't say that one technology can help it, but what I can say from my experience is, if we know that what all services or what all features are there to secure it, we can make sure that the identities are secure, because the decentralized nature of blockchain brings the considerable concern. Even though we say that blockchain is secure, but that is there. And efforts to implement biometric identification, that is also important, like fingerprints, facial recognition, that also needs to be implemented. So whatever the ultimate composition of the solution, we need to use to make sure that identities are secure. And at the end, for identities, we can take some constructive steps, like a very, very popular technology which we use right now, that is MFA. Or even though now the companies are going passwordless, and that is I also like a lot, because you are secure. You are not using anything to reveal. Every time you are having a new key, if you are using FIDO2 or some other ways, you're not using your password. So we can also use these kind of recent innovation, and we can make sure that the users feel safe in the metaverse. Users will feel safe to access the applications. So that's a little bit about the identity issues. Then all the things which we are talking, it all comes with the new world of attacks. So attackers are coming, like bots are there, like DDoS attack, lot of bots are involved in that. So these kind of attacks can come from anywhere, and they will do around the clock. Anytime this can happen. We can go and check the live maps which are available for cyber attacks. So we see that these attacks are happening. So naturally, metaverse network also have to be secure, but then these kind of attacks are coming. So let's say a strong password, MFA, advanced firewall, or advanced threat protections. So these things we need to implement, where we should have a proper visibility and analysis. So when we say 3A, authentication, authorization, and auditing. So I say for security, if we have a strong authentication, but if we don't have auditing property, we are not able to secure the entire landscape, because auditing gives us the power to see who has access to what. It helps us to detect the anomalies. It helps us to uncover the activities, and also it helps us to understand that what kind of access my user is having in the environment. So these three A's are important. Data should be encrypted, should be password protected, as we discussed in the previous slides as well, in transit, in use, and in the rest. So all these three aspects we need to understand, because the way attacks are happening, the new every second a new attack is coming. So we also need a mechanism to watch for the phishing, malicious URLs, or similar type of online attacks, because these, maybe I can say that when I'm talking, maybe some new attacks are created and circulated, users are affected. So that's a very valid point, Meti, that auditing is always forgotten. But that's a very, very important major, because when we talk to the customers and client, they have all the features enabled, but they don't know how to monitor those things, and how it is important to keep these monitoring data secure in their workspaces for a longer period of time, based on the governance policy. So that is also not taken very, very seriously, and that's why these new world of attacks are coming. So even though few attacks, we don't know their name or definitions as well, because every second new attack is emerging. So whatever gallery of hacking, malware, ransomware, and phishing trick of things we have, that entirely focusing on the new aspects, like we talk about blockchain. So NFTs, exchanges, cryptocurrencies. So now these attacks are targeting these areas as well. And we need a proper mechanism to report. And also we need to have a proper distribution of the information, that how these attacks come to the uh, thing. So that is about the new world of attacks. Then we have little bit about client vulnerabilities. So we all know that VR and AR handsets are heavy duty machines, and these are come with lot of software and memory, and they are also a ripe target, I can say, that for malicious and ignorant hacks. So location spoofing, device manipulation, all these enable the preparators to take over the user's identity. And also this can cause havoc after entering the metaverse. So I would like to discuss some security challenges. Like the first is reliance. So the lack of standards or sharing services in the metaverse, like the users of a product or platform are reliant on completely owner of that platform for providing safety or the experiences. If we say the another thing, that is responsibility. The property a user buys or rent in VR environment, it creates many security and privacy challenges. Who is allowed into or blocked from the property? Again, what happened inside these properties? So all these responsibility concerns are also coming with VR. And also, if we talk about authentication, like knowing the entities are who they, that is also challenging. How you are going to prove the people you are engaging or the claim to be, they are the real users. Like if you are taking a or discussing with a medical professional, how you are going to ensure that the person is medical. Accountability, as we discussed. So if a fraud or harassment is happening, are you able to reach out to that person? Is this traceable or not? Privacy, what kind of regulations you are following? So all these, and ad feeds. I can say that these ad feeds, you can also understand whenever we are doing any stuff, we are not having any control of ad feeds. Similar to that, here also in the metaverse also, we don't have any control on the ad feeds. Virtual ads are coming and you don't have any control. And if we talk about the spying and other aspects that comes with VR, and if we talk about AR, two major categories comes under the security challenge, that is data integrity and physical security. So this involves with third party data. So any compromise in integrity of data could present a major challenge. So if location app that has been overlaid onto a headset that use a flawed location data. So like say, for example, it can result in incorrect direction given to the user. So that can also cause a problem. So these are the major challenges which we can discuss related to client vulnerabilities. Now, because I have a limited time, let's come to a point where we can have a little discussion on making a better metaverse. So, the problems of yesterday's and today's internet. The first is impersonation, as we discussed earlier as well. Attempts to steal confidential data, credentials, social engineering, and nation state espionage. We discussed that these are the major challenges which we have seen. Now, the things which we need to understand is the security community has to take some kind of charge for designing the norms, and they have to do a teamwork to anticipate these challenges and to respond them. So, across the tech industry, cooperating against threats as the stakes have risen in the recent year, and that remains a cornerstone for security as metaverse as a platform, and also experience being shaped the future. So all the security researchers are seeing it as an opportunity to understand the metaverse adversaries and also how they can overcome, they can provide some solutions to take care of that. So metaverse problem will likely create, and also I can say that generate entirely new data streams with the potential to improve authentication and also pinpoint the suspect and also malicious activity. Like in our environment also, if we talk about cloud infrastructure, we always have a mechanism to identify if any malicious activity is happening. Let's say I'll take an example of Microsoft Sentinel. If you want to have a bird eye view of your entire infrastructure, what your resources they are doing, what kind of activities your user is doing, and not only the Azure infra, but if you have some other infra on-prem data, you can feed in all the logs to Sentinel, and then you can have a bird eye view of your entire infrastructure log. You can identify the patterns. You can identify that, okay, some anomaly is happening. You can identify that some kind of tactics are related with this kind of attacks. So these kind of activities always pinpoint the suspect, or any kind of malicious activity is happening in the environment, and that particular scenario help the humans to take a proper decision. And nowadays we do not need any human intervention also to manage all those things, because we have solutions like automated orchestrated response. So we have SIM and we also have SOAR solution. security information event management, and security orchestrated and automated response. So we are not relying on human to wake up in the night at 2 o'clock and see, oh, it's any alert, oh, it's any incident is happening or not. We need to have an automated response to such activities so that most of the things can be maintained at the automated level only, so that we will not be waiting for any human to take charge of that. So any like I can say that whatever things we are facing in the cyber world, all the cyber security issues are coming with metaverse also. We have to define that how the metaverse is evolving, and also we have to also see that this is also true for securing the metaverse. But we do not need to predict the ultimate impact of metaverse to recognize and embrace the security, and also two principles that make the journey a safer one for all. So this is about making a better metaverse. So again, I can say that shared responsibility model and zero trust, these are the two major things, and also the defense in depth. Whatever layers we have, whatever interaction we have, if we are able to secure every layer, be it identity, be it application, be it communication, be it my avatars data, be it my communication, if I have a strong security settings for all the layer, it will be difficult for attacker to penetrate these layers. If I understand my responsibility of securing the metaverse as a user, it will make my security more implementable in the environment. And also zero trust. By default, deny each and every user access coming to your environment. That makes a better metaverse. This is all. And for preparing these slides, I have gone through these references, and I really want to thank the authors of these references, those who have given such kind of material so that I was able to prepare it. So what we all love about the internet, I also, the ability to get information and also the make exchanges, free speech that's internet is giving. So again, now another thing which I request from internet is the assurance to so that it is secure as possible, and also edge appropriate. Whatever new technologies are coming, it should also map up with that and secure it as possible, and also maintain the privacy. So as metaverse arrives and evolve, we also need it to balance approach to ensure the best experience for all the users, and provide a safe environment so that everybody feels secure and everybody is able to use the features which are there. With this, I would like to thank all of you for your patience listening. And you can, this is a QR code for my LinkedIn profile. If you want to connect with me and have any discussion on security aspects, feel free to connect with me. I will be really happy to help you in that. And thank you once again, Betty, for setting the stage and giving this opportunity to me to share my information with all of us. Thank you so much. With this, I'll end my session.